Do you have a game face? Something you put on before you go into battle? A few years ago, women's ministries groups in Texas sent in words to describe their officers, and then it was presented to us at women's camp. My ladies picked the word adventurous, which is defined as willing to take risks or to try out new methods or to try out new ideas or experiences. I was really shocked by this because I often feel scared and timid in most situations, but I love that word. I just don't feel it describes me all the time. Don't get me wrong, I have my moments. Like, I enjoy going and exploring new places and experiencing new things, but I often feel a hesitation beforehand. I guess I often associate being adventurous with being brave. And bravery is something that I don't see myself as. It's defined as being ready to face and endure danger or pain without showing fear. Now, y'all, I do not feel brave very often. However, when faced with a crisis or a situation that could end up being dangerous or turn out to be bad, I do what I have to do. I've told you before that you have two choices in your life. In any crisis you face, you can either let it take you over and fall where you are standing, or you can get up and face it. My first human instinct is to run away or hide, if I'm really honest. I don't want to face the problem, but my faith in God has shown me time and time again that I'm not alone. God is with me in all things. Sometimes in the middle of all the craziness, I can forget that. One account from the Bible that always helps me to remember that God is with me is from the book of 2 Kings. And if you go in 2 Kings to chapter 6, Elisha is the prophet of Israel. And he did a lot of really cool things throughout the whole thing. A lot of brave things, a lot of adventurous things, because he absolutely knew that God was with him at all times. God allowed him to see things on a different level than you or I. I wish often that I had that. We catch up with him in the city of Dothan, where he was, and the enemy of Israel sent a large army to capture Elisha because the prophet was able to tell the king of Israel everything that they were going to do. God gave him this gift to know exactly what the plans were of the enemy. That's really cool. So this enemy army arrives and it surrounds the city. And in verse 15, we read this. When the servant of the man of God got up and saw outside early the next morning an army with horses and chariots had surrounded the city, this is what he said. "Oh my Lord, what shall we do?" The servant asked. "Don't be afraid," the prophet answered. "Those who are with us are more than those who are with them." And Elijah prayed, "O Lord, open his eyes so that he may see." Then the Lord opened the eyes of the servant, and he saw on the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. And the story goes on. Elisha asks God to blind the enemy army, and God does so. And then Elisha leads them all to the army of Israel, and they capture them. It's pretty amazing, this story. Sometimes I feel like that servant, though, when I'm facing a big problem, especially at the start of a crisis. I'm afraid of what is happening around me. I don't know what's happening, and it's scary. But I try to remember what Elisha told him. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. When I think about that, I remember that I don't face things alone. I try and picture this massive army of chariots on fire and soldiers with huge swords ready to fight, and they're surrounding me, and I'm right in the middle. You have that same army surrounding you in any situation you face. We can be brave because our faith is something greater and in something greater than what we see. We simply need to ask, believing that God will answer. Live brave, my friends. God is with you. I hope you remember this today. We love you. Good night.